Hello everyone, welcome to my talk about whether you can boost your immune system in the face of the coronavirus. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Helen Ruckledge. I'm a qualified nutritionist and registered with the Association for Nutrition. I work freelance. My company is called Fad-Free Nutrition. Usually I do presentations in a number of settings, including schools, corporate, charitable, but of course everything's off at the moment. So I thought I'd share some of my slides with people that may be interested, and I hope it might help at this difficult time. So before we start, I would just like to say that unfortunately nutrition alone is unlikely to cure or prevent any disease. I'm sure you all know that. I also would like to say that I'm not saying what anybody should or should not do. Not judging anyone or pointing the finger at anyone for individual choices. I just want to highlight the main issues based on the evidence base so that you can make sense of all the information out there. So this discussion is about understanding what food is good for general health and what's good for supporting a healthy immune system while also enjoying what you eat. So it's a minefield out there at the moment. On social media, many people are completely overwhelmed with COVID-19 misinformation. I've seen myths circulating about consuming excessive amounts of vitamin C, zinc, selenium, echinacea, garlic, and even drinking more water. A lot of this advice is well-intentioned. You can't blame anyone for trying to help and for worrying about the current situation, and they're not intending to mislead anyone very often. But often these claims that abound are not based on the scientific evidence. Some advice out there is actually completely irresponsible, with the marketing of unethical products and people cashing in on vulnerable people who are desperate to help themselves. So I would like to say that the idea of superfoods are foods that are apparently beneficial for preventing or treating a health condition. However, this is rather a myth. There's no evidence that any single food can reduce the risk or progression of a particular disease. What you need to think instead is about your diet as a whole. So don't panic and get swept away by misinformation. So who can we trust? Well, no one study can provide 100% proof that any food or even diet is protective against any virus, and you should therefore be wary of any claims that prove causality. However, leading charities and government bodies such as these, the World Cancer Research Fund, World Health Organization, British Nutrition Foundation, and our fantastic NHS, they are backed by eminent scientists, and they draw together scientific evidence from literally thousands of studies and form a collective judgment on how diet and nutrition can influence health. So do remember that our NHS is backed by the most experienced analysts and scientists, and the information that they deliver is the current thinking on what's correct. So you can use all of these websites of these different organisations, and my go-to one is really the NHS to find current information about diet and health. So just to set this in context, I want to just go over the basics about immune systems. So there is plenty of evidence to suggest that those suffering micronutrient deficiencies, so those with some type of malnutrition, are more likely to have a weakened immune system. And if you've got a weakened immune system, it means that you're more likely to succumb to various infections. However, boosting the immune system is another myth. You wouldn't want to boost your immune system because that would be an abnormal immune response, which is associated with allergic reactions and also autoimmune diseases. So you don't want to boost it, that could be dangerous. What you do want to do in the face of the coronavirus or any other health issue is to support a normal, not boosted immune system. So that's what I'm going to talk about, is how to support a normal immune system that's functioning perfectly well. So in terms of nutrients, The academic research has identified a number of nutrients which affect immunity. These include fatty acids, folate, iron, selenium, vitamins A, B6, C, D and E, and also zinc. They all have a part to play in maintaining a healthy immune system. However, there is very little, if any, evidence to suggest that consuming these nutrients in greater quantities strengthens the immune system. And indeed, certain nutrients, such as vitamin A, can be toxic if taken in large amounts. All these nutrients listed here are in ample supply in a balanced, varied diet. Which brings me on to supplements. The NHS recommendation, and also my own, is to not take supplements unless advised by your doctor or consultant for a specific purpose. For example, if you are anemic, you may take iron supplements. And also vitamin D is the one exception in the winter in the UK. People often ask me about vitamin C, and there is some evidence in the research that vitamin C may reduce the severity or duration of a cold, but it's far from proven, as it were. And anyway, this research can't just be transferred to coronavirus because it's an entirely different disease. So just to reiterate, a very balanced diet can provide all the nutrients required for anyone to support and maintain a healthy immune system, even when suffering from an illness or at threat of an illness. So what can I do with my diet? Well, you can ensure that you have a nutritious diet containing a wide variety of foods. Variety is key so that you are not left deficient in any micronutrients, because if you are, that may weaken your immune system in the face of an attack from the coronavirus. So your varied diet should include as many plant-based foods as possible, including at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables per day. And please note, these can be frozen or canned. They're all super nutritious and all good options. With my family, I tend to aim for 5 portions of vegetables a day, and then a couple of portions of fruit as either a snack or on top of a breakfast cereal. We don't always manage that, but if we don't manage that, we're back to our 5 a day basically. So I normally aim that bit higher for my family. Should have some whole grain carbohydrates with every meal. This is things like rice and pasta, which are currently in short supply in the shops, but there are options of different types of breads, couscous, potatoes, the various other options for carbohydrates if you didn't panic buy your pasta. Protein sources you should eat daily, including lean meat if you choose to eat meat, fish if you choose to eat fish, 1 portion a week of which should be oily, and then also pulses, nuts and seeds. Dairy foods should be included in the diet, as well as dairy alternatives that are usually fortified. And of course, you can use unsaturated oils such as olive oil. So this is summarised in the NHS Eatwell guide. This is a very visual representation of what I've just said. So 1/3 of your plate should be made up of fruit and vegetables. 1/3 of your plate made up of carbohydrate sources. And then the remaining 1/3 includes lean protein sources and dairy and dairy alternatives, with just a small slice of the pie being oils and spreads. The unsaturated oils are the ones that are liquid at room temperature, so they're the healthier ones that you can spot. So in a nutshell, optimal nutrition gives you optimal immunity. So aim to eat a varied, balanced and nutritious diet which is grounded in science and history. Eat lots of plant-based foods and a healthy balance of carbs, protein and fat. Please don't get swept away with food fads in the media which are not based on the evidence. Trust the NHS messages. Save your money at this difficult time. You don't need immune boosting supplements to have a healthy immune system. I would suggest don't eliminate anything, as this may result in missing vitamins and minerals. And indeed, even with things like cake and wine, if you fancy eating these things or drinking these things, again, to get you through this difficult time, it's not going to compromise your immune system. I wouldn't be too hard on yourselves. So if any of you want to contact me about anything in this presentation, here's my phone number and email address. I also regularly post on the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. I'd love to have some more followers through this to keep me company while we're all hiding away. So if you would like to follow me, that would be fantastic. Many thanks for listening.